Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to Fantasy Forecast for November 16th, 2016. I can't even keep track of the records anymore. I think it's like 8-6. There was a loss yesterday. There was a win. It's getting confusing, but yesterday turned into a tournament day really fast. The lineup I gave, I believe, was a 261. If this is it right here. I'm not entirely. I thought it was the one that has the. Let me see. It's this one. This is the one I gave out. Yeah. Okay. So I gave that lineup: Lillard, Kane, and DeRozan. Kane did not pay off, even though the absence should have hit there. James was fine. Hollis Jefferson didn't pay. Randall was incredible. Whiteside was awesome at 54. Yesterday was a strange day. I'm going to go through just the history here just to look at the actual shot and show you guys the top winner. I mean, you were able to hit 400, and this was a duplicated lineup too, so it didn't even pay the 50 grand, but, 10,000 times your money, I think all of us would be happy with that. Walker, okay. Russell, okay, against the Nets. I mean, a star, and a guy that can score, that can get up there. Wade, he's given us decent performances before. This wasn't a 50-point ceiling, but you didn't need that on this lineup. 37 was fine. Batum gave you 40, about his ceiling. James didn't even hit his ceiling, but 57 points, take it. Bogdo was the value player of the day, and there was a lot of value players. I mean, there's guys that paid 7-8 times. We're looking at the top lineup. Randall and Booker and Lopez. And Belo, I mean, that was like an 8 times value. That's how you won. And I ran like 5 different tournament entries in this. And you can see my top was at, 303, which would easily won a cash game. And then I have a 261 entry. And, tournaments you're trying to land higher with variability. And with only 5 entries, guys, even I'm not good enough to land that top. Because I'm going to show you something real fast. Bartow, 3-3. Bartow put in more than 1 entry, guys. It cost him more than $3 to win that. Why? How do I know? Well, let's just look at the contest itself. Go back on in, all entries. Oh my gosh, there's Bartow again at 398. Oh, what did he do? He took Taj Gibson instead. Exact same lineup, except he had some other player because it might land right at the very top, which got him 35,000 instead of 5. This is how pros win the game, guys. They have a certain feeling on which guys they should lock in, but the guy that they're not so sure on. And in this case, it was Randall. He wasn't so sure on Randall, was he? No, Gibson, I'm sorry. He wasn't so sure on Booker. Well, which makes sense. So it was either Booker or it was Gibson for him. Not a bad selection to choose between, but he was sure about the rest of his lineup. This is how you win, guys. That's why you enter 2 entries or 3 entries or 6 entries into a tournament. I'm trying to find his next ones. I looked through. There were more than 2 entries that he entered. Good for him. He knows what he's doing. And if you look through what I've done, you can stop the video. There's Bartow again. Thank you. So in this case, Walker, Russell, Wade, Batum. This he had Butler instead. So he swapped out Butler for James, right? Saved $1,300. Still had Bogdo. And this lineup had Booker, and it was Towns at the center instead of Bullo, because it fit. This is how you win, guys. You do multiple lineups and you lock just the right guys. But you do multiple lineups. It's the only way to do it, okay? And so last night, it turned into a tournament game because there was so much last-minute value. When I do these videos to you guys, I try to explain last-minute value and how you have to jump all over it. And if you don't, you will lose. Let's get on to today's lineup. Today, it's a cash game. We're taking Westbrook and Irving in the point guard positions. Irving, because LeBron James is now out, he's going to pick up more of the scoring load. And who else is going to do that but Kevin Love? He's also down there in the power forward position, so check it out. Westbrook, because it's against Harden, and Westbrook is the heart of OKC, and Harden is the heart of Houston. And neither team has a excellent defense, although they do score, and they have great paces. So I'm taking both Westbrook and Harden in a cash game today. Kyrie Irving with the LeBron James out. And then Satoransky and Porter, we're basically starting to just take advantage of every single absence that there's going to be today. You know, you got Beal out, you got John Wall out today. So, okay, I want Satoransky and I want Porter. You know, I want Kevin Love. It's the same thing I did yesterday. Yesterday I took advantage of value too. But, you know, you never know which value exactly is going to pay. And on a day when there's a ton of value, like yesterday just opened up even on a 5-game slate, you never know what exactly will pay out. Like I had Baines, but, you know, Baines might not be enough, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if Drummond's out. I mean, I expect him to not give us a 30 points, you know. I expect him to give us 20. But, you know, if you give me 6 times 6 value, I'm happy for a cash game. It's okay with me against the Knicks. You're going to play another 33 minutes today, right? So I'm taking Baines again, especially at 3,700, right damn near minimum. Lauer is, you know, my scoring pickup with Drummond being out. And Baines for the rebounds pickup, because Drummond shows so much. For $8,000, I've replaced him in 2 different positions, and I can spend up everywhere else. K-Love, Irving for the scoring that King James is out on. Take them both today. And then at the shot guard, you know, I had Harden. We got Satoransky taking advantage of the Beal and the, you know, the Wall absences. Same with Porter. Someone has to pick up the scoring. We saw him put up like 68 fantasy points or something insane just a couple games ago. I mean, why can't the guy do 40 again? Seriously. 68.8. What the hell is that? Okay, so I think we're up for a rebound here today on Porter and Robertson. Guys, it's against Houston, and you need your lineup to fit, and I see the minutes there. I mean, if you don't see the minutes there after you look at his game logs, you tell me. What do you not see that I don't see? 23, 34, 32, 29. If you see something I don't see, other than he got a stinker on 7.8 against Detroit, you know, 2 days ago, other than that, I see 2 great performances before that. Forget that last game, and I'd be all over this guy at 3,800. Okay, and this is the final move I'm going to show that Fantasy Forecast is backed with real money, and that Fantasy Forecast believes in what we talk about. $25 enough? Let's just do a 20, guys. Is that enough? I hope so, along with the 5 I already got in there. I'm not worried about your credit card numbers or anything. No one's going to see so it doesn't really matter. And we're all set. Let's go ahead and pay these guys. I don't normally do deposits in this account, but I needed to do it for this one because I ran it for tournament style yesterday, and I basically lost a lot of it. But like I talk about for cash lineups. Oh, oops. Hold on a second. I think that's supposed to be... it's different. That should be correct. $20. Now, let's go ahead and put this into an actual doubling up the way the money should be spent. Now, if you don't be playing tournaments with, you know, you play cash lineups. You see all this shit, you know, ignore all that. Go with the multipliers, and we can play the big one. It's fine with that. Now, I normally recommend, though, you play single entry games. They give you a better odds of winning, and, you know, larger entries are the better ones. So that one and that one. But in general, besides that, you know, other than playing the biggest single entry games you can play, you can go ahead and play the big one. I mean, if you can't make it fit otherwise, you can also play a $5 one. A $5 one will work actually just fine right here. Actually, you know what? Let's do that, guys. We'll do a $5 single entry, double up right there. Look at that, 222 entries. Beautiful. Take it. And is there much more we can do here? We could be doing double ups too, but I mean, or quintuple ups, but I mean, we're going for a cash game here. We'll leave it at that for now. So let's do upcoming and show you guys what my lineup spread is for today. These are all going to run, and I'll show them to you guys tomorrow. Just a single entry on the tournament just to show it, but I mean, basically all double up money all the way through, along with my qualifier because I'm going to track that. Okay, today's cash game lineup. And I hope I've explained to you guys, you know, why you don't want to take guys like, you know, I've ignored a lot of this, I'm sorry. I mean, guys like Chris Paul against a slow Memphis team, guys like Seth Curry, there's just no reason to take them today. There's just not. Isaiah Thomas, I can see people taking him. Lowry, I can see people taking him. No question. For tournaments, have at it. But you have to drop down to people like J.J. Barea, who might have a good game against Boston. Or, hell, Marcus Smart has gone up so much in value, he's now fairly priced. You know, what I've given you guys across the positions, I mean, you guys know the decent guys. Alphabet could have a decent game. DeRozan can always have a great game with his usage. There's no question about that. Bradley could put up 50 points today against Dallas. Easily. He could be one of those Kemba Walkers that was yesterday. That's going to happen every single day. It could be Devin Booker today, guys. What I'm trying to show you is that, look, you have to go out on a limb for a cash game lineup. You have to say this is going to land better than half of everyone else. And if you don't do that, then what the hell are you doing out here even doing a show for people? Really? Why are you bothering? So I'm trying to give you guys what I feel with the ownerships and everything else is going to get you a winning percentage over an entire season. And you build it up slowly. You bet the same amount every day. You do 50-50s. If you're going to let your money go and do lottery tickets, well then at least do a bunch of lottery tickets like I showed you. Do 5 or 10 different lineups and really try to land near the top, at the very least. Because the pros are entering 100 against you. At the small forward position. Well, LeBron is out, which is why we had both Irving and Love today. That was obvious. But, I mean, there are other guys that are just going to pick up the basic minutes you can look at. So, I mean, there are value picks for Cleveland that are coming into play. If I had to guess at the value picks, let me think. Yeah, that's going to be a hard question. I'll move on. I'll think about the value picks that are going to open up for Cleveland in a moment. KD is always an option, but I think he's gone up in too much against Toronto, so I would just be looking away at that for the moment. Same with Paul George against Cleveland. It's too good of a defensive opponent at the price. I would be at sub 8,000 to like that. Leonard will be just fine against Sacramento. You're looking at 50 fantasy points there. I like him as a tournament option today. Dropping out of Porter. Even Rudy Gay, contrarian against San Antonio, I'd be looking at him. I don't know if I'd be all over Carmelo today. I'd be probably... T.J. Warren could do just fine against Denver. He still has his time, so I mean, the small forward position is probably the most open where you can take a lot of different options today. And that probably opens up the rest of your stuff because I have a cheap small forward at Robertson. It could be moved up, moved down. The small forward is probably make or break today. Anthony Davis, game time decision. Guys, anytime you see game time decision, stay the heck away with Anthony Davis. He's glass. All right, guys? Seriously. Just stay the hell away. There's no reason to bother paying $11,400 for a guy that is not going to... It's just stay away. I don't know how much more clear I can be with something like that, but don't touch that today. I know, normally for a cash game, but with Westbrook and Harden, you don't need to. Power forward, Lauer, you're basically taking advantage of Drummond's absence. Same thing with the center with Baines. I gave him to you before. He did just fine. He's going to do just fine again against that absence. So... Olenek's already dropped because that's readjusting itself. Thompson's showing surprising performances, and he has an interior defense for the Pacers is not pretty. I'd be looking at both Thompson and Chandler as tournament options today. Moving up, you can look at Adams against Houston, and Embiid is out, so you can look at Okafor farther down. Let's see there. Where is he? He's only 46. Okay, and spending up. Well, Drummond GTD and Howard GTD, I'd stay off of both of those, but Cousins. I mean, the problem only is his opponent, and that's why he's cheap. Okay. Oh, and I did say I was going to say something about those Chicago guys, didn't I? Okay, well, who was going to pick up that time? Let me think about it. Heck if I know. I'm trying to figure it out right now. Well, there will be some guys that pick it up. Sorry, guys. My brain's turned a little bit to mush. It's been a long time, and I got to get this loaded up before lock. Okay, that's Fantasy Forecast for today, November 16th. A review of the lineup real fast again for cash games, single entry. Westbrook and Irving at your point guards. Harvin and Satoransky at your shot guard. Porter and Robertson for your small forward. Love and Lauer for your power forward. And Baines for your center. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It helps support this free channel. Watch the ads occasionally if you have the time to do that. I understand if you have to skip. We all get it. And If you looking for last minute advice or looking for last minute lineup changes, follow on Twitter. That's where I send them. The link is in the description. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Again, have a wonderful day, guys. Go on out there and go win some big money.